चैतन्य चरितामृत मंगलाचरण। वंदे गुरुनीश भक्तान् ईशमीशावतारकान् तत्प्रकाशंश्च तत्शक्तिः कृष्ण चैतन्य सम्यकम्। वंदे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानन्दौ सहोदितौ पौढोदये पुष्पवन्तौ चित्रशन्दौ तमोनुदौ यद् अद्वैतं ब्रह्मोपनिषदि तदपि यस्य तनुभा य आत्मानान्तर्यामि पुरुषः इति शोऽस्यांश विभावः षड् ऐश्वर्यपूर्णो यः भगवान् स स्वयं वयं न चैतन्यात् कृष्णात् जगति परतत्त्वं परम् इह अनर्पिताचरिं चिरात् करुणयावतीर्णा कलौ समर्पयितुं मुन्नोत्वजलरसां स्वभक्ति श्रियं हरिपुरटसुन्दर द्युतिकदम्बसन्दीपितः सदा हृदये कन्दरे स्मृतौ वाशचीनन्दनः राधाकृष्ण प्रणय विक्त्रयत्यादिनी शक्तिरस्मान् एकात्मानव अपि भुवि पुरा देहभेतं गतौ तौ चैतन्याख्यां प्रकटम् अधुना तद्वयं चैख्यमाप्तां राधाभावद्युतिसुवलितं नौमि कृष्णस्वरूपम् श्रीराधाय प्रणय महिमा कीदृशो वानयैव स्वाद्यो येनाद्भुतमधुरिमा कीदृशो वामदीयः सौख्यं चास्य मद अनुभवतः कीदृशं वेति लोभात् तद्भावाध्यासमजनिषचि गर्भसिन्धौ हरिन्दुः सङ्कर्षणकारणतो शायी गर्भोदशायी च पायोब्धिशायी शेषश्च यस्यां सकलास नित्य नन्दाख्य रामा शरणं ममास्तु मायातीतव्यापी वैकुण्ठलोके पूर्णैश्वर्य श्रीचतुर्व्यूहमध्ये रूपं यस्योद्भाति सङ्कर्षणाख्यां तं श्रीनित्यानन्द रामं प्रपद्ये माया भारताजान्धसङ्गाश्रयाङ्गः शेति साक्षात्कारणां बोधिमध्ये यस्याैकशांश श्रीपुमानादिदेवस्तं श्रीनित्यानन्द रामं प्रपद्ये यस्यां शांश श्रीलगर्भोदशायि यन्नाभ्यब्जं लोकसङ्घातनालं लोकषष्ठो स्तुतिकधाम धातुस्तं श्रीनित्यानन्द रामं प्रपद्ये यस्यां शांशः परादात्मखिलनानां पोष्ठविष्णुर्भाति दुग्धाब्धिशायि शौनिभर्ता यत्कालसोऽप्यनन्तस्तं श्रीनित्यानन्द रामं प्रपद्ये महाविष्णुर्जगत्कर्ता मायाया यशजत् अधः तस्यावतार एवायम् अद्वैताचार्य ईश्वरः अद्वैतं हरिणा अद्वैतात् आचार्यं भक्तिसंशनात् भक्तावतारमीशं तम् अद्वैताचार्यमाश्रये पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यां नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं जयतां सुरतौ पङ्गुर्मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदां पूजो श्रीराधामदनमोहनौ दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमादः श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद्राधाशीलगोविन्ददेवौ पृष्ठालिविसेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटातटस्थितः कर्षन्वेणुस्वनिर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथाश्रियस्तु नः जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानन्द जय अद्वैतचन्द्र जय गौरभक्तवृन्द। चैतन्य भागवत मंगलाचरण। आजानुलंबित भुजौ कनकावदातौ संकीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलायताक्षौ विश्वाम्भरो द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ नमस्त्रिकालसत्याय जगन्नाथासुताय च सभृत्याय सपुत्राय सकलात्राय ते नमः। अवतीर्णौ स कारुण्यौ परिच्छिन्नौ षडीश्वरौ श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानन्दौ द्वौ भ्रतारौ भजे स जयति विशुद्ध विक्रम कनकाभकमलायताक्षनः वरजानुविलम्बि षड्भुजो बहुधा भक्तिरसाभिनार्तकः जयति जयति देव कृष्ण चैतन्य चन्द्रो जयति जयति कीर्तिस्तस्य नित्या पवित्रा जयति जयति भृत्यास्तस्य विश्वेशमूर्तेर्जयति जयति नित्यं तस्य सर्वप्रियाणां। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीमद् भागवतम 11th canto verses। कृष्णवर्णं त्विषा कृष्णं साङ्गोपाङ्गास्त्रपार्षदं यज्ञैः सङ्कीर्तनप्रायैर्यजन्ति हि सुमेधसः ध्येयं सदा परिभवनभीष्टदोहम् तीर्थास्पदं शिवविरिञ्चितनूतं शरण्यं भृत्यार्तिहं प्रणतपालभवाब्धिपोतं वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दम् त्यक्त्वा सुदुस्त्यज्य सुरेप्सितराज्यलक्ष्मीं धर्मिष्ठार्यवचसा यद्गादरण्यं मायामृगं दयितयेप्सितमन्वधावत् वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दम् हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Dandavat pranam to all devotees.
All other words came out proper except for paribhavagnam. Paribhavagnam. And ध्येयं सदा परिभवाग्नमभीष्टदोहं. Chant again. Vimur, chant both the verses again.
Yes, Mataji. ध्येयं सदा परिभवग्नमिष्टदोहम् ध्येयं सदा परिभवग्नमभीष्टदोहम्
परिभवग्नम.
ध्येय सदा परिभवग्नं भीष्टदोहम्
परिभवग्नम अभीष्टदोहम. परिभवग्नम अभीष्टदोहम.
यस् ध्येयं सदा परिभवग्नम् अभीष्टदोहम् तीर्थास्पदं शिवविरिञ्चितनूतं शरण्यं
शिवविरिञ्चिनुतं.
शिवविरिञ्चिनुतं
Just
yes
to join it. शिवविरिञ्चिनुतं.
तीर्थास्पदं शिवविरिञ्चितनूतं शरण्यं
शिवविरिञ्चिनुतं. शिवविरिञ्चिनुतं.
तीर्थास्पदं शिवविरिञ्चिनुतं शरण्यं भृत्यार्तिहं प्रणतपालभवाब्धिपोतं वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दम्
वासुपुस्तच्च सुरेप्सितराज्यलक्ष्मीं.
त्यक्त्वा सुदुस्त्यज्य सुरेप्सितराज्यलक्ष्मीं धर्मिष्ठावचसा यद्गादरण्यं मायामृगं दयितयेप्सितमन्वधावत् वन्दे
महापुरुषारविन्दम्. Every day night, make it a point, all of you should chant these 3 verses and then sleep. Okay? Like this, something you should keep for night to chant, something for the morning to chant. I'll be giving you certain verses which you will be chanting in the morning. These are the verses from Nectar of Instructions, Nectar of Devotion, which is quoted that service to the devotees is more greater than even service to Lord. So you can put all those verses. Yesterday we did in Shastri, Aradhananam api sarvesham, Vishnu Aradhikaram, Tasmat Parakaram Devi, Tadiyanam Samarchanam. The 2 verses there and 1 verse is there in Kulashekar Alvars. So these 3 verses also we will be chanting. So we should chant these 3 verses also when we are doing Chaitanya Bhagavat. So by hearing these verses, one becomes more fixed up in devotional service. Lord says that I don't consider a devotee who is my devotee, directly my devotee. I don't consider him to be a devotee. But if a person is a devotee of my devotee, I consider him to be a devotee. Ye me bhakta jana partha, name bhakta chade jana mad bhakta nam chaye bhakta asti me bhakta tavamataham. Somebody is my devotee, somebody claims, oh, I am devotee of Krishna. Krishna says, get lost. I don't recognize you. But on the other hand, mad bhakta nam chaye bhakta tame I consider that person to be the topmost, who is devotee of my devotee. Now we are going to see the chapter, Sarvabhattacharya serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And how all the devotees, they are benefited because of the association of Sarvabhattacharya. There is another verse in Kulashekar Alvar's Mukundamala. Madjanma palam idam madukaita bhare mad prarthaniya madanugraha esha eva tadbhrutya bhrutya paricharaka bhrutya bhrutya bhrutasya bhrutya iti mam smaralokanatha. Every lifetime, O Lord, let me attain the perfection by becoming the servant of 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 your servant 7 times. Kulashekara says, Tad Bhrutya Bhrutya Paricharaka Bhrutya Bhrutya Bhrutasya Bhrutya. If you count just see Bhrutya Bhrutya 2, Paricharaka Bhrutya. That is, Paricharaka is also 1 time. Bhrutya Bhrutya Bhrutasya Bhrutya. So this is what every Acharya speaks. Acharya say, let me become the servant of the servant of the servants of the devotees. Now we'll start with a chapter how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed anugraha to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So it was the arrangement of the providence. Daive Kadina Sarvabhaumera Sahita Vasilena Prabhutane Laya Nibhrute. Text 9, chapter 3, Antya Khand Chaitanya Bhagavat. By the arrangement of providence, the Lord one day sat down in a solitary place with Sarvabhauma. प्रभु बोले, शुन सार्वभौम महाशय, तुम्हारा कही ये आम्ही आपण हृदय. ओ सार्वभौम, I want to reveal my heart to you. जगन्नाथ देखिते ये आईलामा आम्ही उद्देश्य अमार मूल एथा अच्छा तुम्ही. Although I have come to see Jagannath, my main purpose was to come and meet you. जगन्नाथ आमारे की कहिबे न कथा. तुम्ही से आमार बंध छिंदिबे सर्वथा. Will Jagannath speak to me? It is you who will completely destroy my material bondage. See how humbly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu speaks to Sarva Bhattacharya. He says, can Jagannath speak to me? Jagannath himself is speaking. Sahi Gaura, Sahi Jagannath. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu humbly says, who is going to destroy my material bondage? Another reading of Banda Chindibe will destroy bondage is Bandhu Acha. You are my friend. There are two meanings for this. Banda Chindipe. Will Lord remove my material bondage by speaking to me? And another is, you are my best friend. Bandhu Acha. You are my friend. Tomate se Vaishe. Shri Krishnera Purna Shakti. Tumi se Dibara Para Krishna Prema Bhakti. You have got full power. You are fully empowered. You have got the empowerment of Lord. You are fully empowered by Lord Krishna. So you are able to award one loving devotional service to Krishna. Tumi se dibara para Krishna bhakti. That is why you are able to perform devotional service, because you are fully empowered by Lord. So this line is very important. One who is empowered by Lord only has the eagerness to hear about Lord and also perform devotional service to Lord. Speaking, hearing, all these Navvidha Bhakti, that is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archalam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. This can happen only when a person is empowered by Lord. That means fully mercy is there. Mercy is there, that is why that inclination is there. So today also I think we have to do Bhagavatam, some verses, right? That we'll do in the end. Now here, Bhagavatam 5.18. Point 12, let us see. Meanwhile, Raksha Mataji, let me know what are the verses which we have to do today from Bhagavatam, because yesterday the quotation was there.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Now we'll see.
10.60. May I write in the chat box, Mataji?
You put it in the group, I will just see that. 5.8.12. Let us see. What is that verse? Just you have to give me 1 minute. Oh, this is the verse. Oh, beautiful verse. Yasyasti bhakti bhagavati yakinchana sarve tatra samasate bhagavan Ravabhaktस्य कुतो महत्पुराणं मनोरथेन सती धावतो भयि यस्यास्ति भक्तिर्भगवती अकिंचना. This we have studied in Bhagavad Gita first chapter, this quotation Prabhupada puts. Whoever has akinchana bhakti towards Lord, akinchana. Akinchana means there is no motives. Sometimes devotees think whether my nature is good or bad. Devotees' nature are transcendental because they have taken shelter of Krishna. If they have a kinchana love for Krishna without any motives, if they serve Krishna, then sarvair gunais tatra samasate sura. Lord gives all the wonderful qualities which Nitya Suris have. Nitya Suris means those who are eternally serving Krishna, Parshadas. On the other hand, Arava Harava Abhaktasya is an Abhakta. Harava Abhaktasya Kuto Mahatguna. Even though he is an Abhakta first, and then he is not devoted. From where he will have good qualities? Kutaha, from where? Manorathena sati dhavato bahi. One minute. These are all making sound. Manorathena sati dhavato bahi. Because he is always sitting in the chariot of his mind, from where will he attain good nature, good qualities? So this is there. Realizing that Sarvabhauma's desire for the fourth objective of life was simply deceitful. Sri Gaur Sundar also deceitfully told him that he had come to Nilachal to take instruction from Sarvabhauma, and that Sarvabhauma had the power to bestow on one loving devotional service to Krishna. Now, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a Jnani. He was more interested in four Purushartha. There is a lot of difference between four Purushartha and Bhakti. Because where four Purushartha end, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, there Bhakti begins. Veda Antaha, where the Vedas end or the logics of the Vedas end, there Bhakti begins. Bhakti Vedanta. So now, beyond Mukti, beyond Moksha is Bhakti. So Bhakti is Anyabhilashita Shunyam, Jnana Karmadi Anavritam, Anukulyena Krishna, Anushilanam Bhakti Ruptam. What is the real meaning of Bhakti? Anyabhilashita Shunyam, give up all other desire. It means there should be some desire. No other desire except for serving Krishna. And acharyas, they go beyond. They say even directly not to Krishna. Bhrutya, bhrutya, bhrutasya, bhrutya, paricharaka, bhrutasya, bhrutya. Like this they say. That means Anya Vilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anartham. Dry philosophy. A devotee is not interested in Jnana, dry philosophy. Jnana Karma, fruitive activities. Jnana Karmadi Anavratam. Anukulyena Krishna, Anukula Bhava. Favorable mood, he wants to serve Krishna. Though sometimes Krishna is very pleased with the unfavorable mood also. Like Kamsa was always remembering Krishna, and Krishna loved to sit on his chest and beat him. On the other hand, there, Yashoda Mata is keeping Krishna down from her lap because she wants to remove the boiling milk from the fire. This actually angered Krishna. He was very much angry. I don't go easily to anybody. Now I'm very easily available to Yashoda Mata, and I'm relishing the milk from her breast, drinking the milk from her breast, and she kept me down. At that time, he's very angry. He takes a stick, breaks the pot. There he exhibited his anger. On the contrary, sitting on the chest of Kamsa and exhibiting his pleasure of giving dhana, dan on his chest. So though unfavorable mood pleased Krishna, but we are not to follow that unfavorable mood. Anukulyena Krishna. We have to follow Anukula Bhava. Anukulyena Krishna, Anushilanam Bhakti Ruttama, Anushilanam. This is the word where Anushilanam comes. Bhrutya Bhrutya Paricharaka Bhrutya Bhrutya Bhrutasya Bhrutya. This is Anushilanam. That means following the footprints of our acharyas. We are not supposed to do anything what comes in our mind. We are just to follow what has been told. Yasya prasadat Bhagavat prasado, yasya prasadan nagati kuto. I don't know what is bhakti, but my Guru Acharya teaches me what is bhakti. So here, intentionally Lord says, oh Sarvabhauma, I came to understand what is devotion. because he knows Sarvabhauma was very much interested in four Purushartha. Panchama Purushartha has to be taught to him, and Panchama Purushartha is Bhakti. Ete katomar amilainu ashraya taha karaye rupe amar bhalahaya. Therefore, I take shelter of you. Do whatever you consider is beneficial for me. So, this is how the Lord is actually deceitfully talking. That means he's actually cheating him by talking like this. Ki vidhi kariba muni thaki baki rupe ye mate na padon muni ye samsara kupe. What rules and regulations should I follow? How should I live? Please instruct me so that I do not fall into the well of material life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking to Sarvam Bhattacharya. So that means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is indirectly saying to grow in devotional service, one has to follow rules and regulations. You cannot say, I was drinking 20 times tea. Now I have made it only one time. Let me have just one time. Doesn't matter. Doesn't work. Oh, I don't eat onion garlic, but when I go out in my relative's house, somehow I have to take it. Again, it will not help us in progressing devotional service. There are so many things because rules and regulations has to be followed. By that, one can establish the four principles, that is compassion, truthfulness, purity, austerity. Then how should I live? The conduct of a devotee is not just restricted to the temple visit. It is in fact, he should be in temple all the time. His consciousness should be in the temple all the time. That means when he is in the house also, he is responsible. When he goes to office also, he is responsible. When he goes to study also, he is a responsible person. Always absorbed in Krishna consciousness, doing the activity, keeping Krishna in the center. So that is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu intentionally is asking Sarvabhauma. And he says this is how one can avoid oneself falling in this well of material life. Sabha upadesha more kah amayaya ami se tumara hai jana sarvathaya. Please instruct me without reservation. That means don't think that, I am talking to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just freely talk. No reservations. Know for certain that I am a soul surrendered to you. Beautiful verse. I am a soul surrendered to you. That is why I want to hear the instruction. Now it is exactly opposite. There Arjuna says, Karpanya dosho pahata svabhavah puchami tvam dharma sammoda cheta yasya nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyaste hamshadimam tvam prapannam. Shishyaste hamshadimam tvam prapannam. I have surrendered to you, O Lord. Please instruct me. What is the goal of life? What is good for me? Now here exactly opposite. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu intentionally says, Ami se tvamarahaya jana sarvathaya. I have surrendered to you. Please instruct me. What should I do? What is the goal of my life? Another reading for the second line is Tomari se ami iha janika nishchaya, which means the same. Yei mata aneka prakara maya maya kuri sarvabhauma prati kahilena gaurahari. In this way, Gaurahari used various means to delude. To delude, now just see. Delusion is beyond illusion. To delude Sarvabhauma while speaking to him. Delusion is beyond illusion. In illusion, a person is in this material world. In delusion, though being in the spiritual path, he is completely, again, mohagrasta, you can say. He is completely deluded. That means he is not able to understand. That is intentionally made by Lord. That is why delusion is beyond illusion. He may be in the spiritual path, he may be a jnani, but sometimes a jnani may consider himself a god. That is delusion, this is Mayavad, delusion. He's doing all the things. He's avoiding material life. He's avoiding he's controlling his senses. Everything is fine. But then he thinks, Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi Sarvam Kalidam Brahma, everything is only Brahman. Delusion sometimes leads a person to think that Lord is Nirakara, Lord has no form, Brahman is everything. न जानिया सार्वभौम ईश्वरेर मर्म कहिते लागीला ये जीवेर yata dharma. Without realizing the Lord's intention, Sarvabhauma began to speak about the religious duties of living entities. So he is not understanding what Lord, there is delusion. So he could not understand. So he started speaking about the religious duties. Sarvabhauma bole na, kahilat yata tumi sakala tumara bhala vashilam ami. Sarvabhauma said, I appreciate everything you have said. ये तुम्हारा हया छे भक्ति हृदय अत्यंत अपूर्व से कहिले कभू नयन. The devotion that has awakened in you is certainly most wonderful and beyond description. Now she is in delusion, he is not able to recognize Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and says, oh wonderful, the devotion has awakened in you and that is very wonderful. Krishna कृपा है तुम्हारा ऊपरे सबे एक करिया छे नहे व्यवहारे. You have attained Krishna's mercy, but you have done one thing that is improper. Now let us see what he wants to say. परम सुबुद्धि तुम्ही है अपने तबे तुम्ही संन्यास करीला की कारणे. Although you are very intelligent, most intelligent, why did you take sannyas? Saruman said, oh Krishna Chaitanya, you have attained Krishna's mercy and you are most intelligent. Why did you take sannyas? What qualification do you have to take sannyas? You are too young. Personalities like Madhavendra, you're too young. Personalities like Madhavendra Puri have taken sannyas, but they have done so after maturely enjoying material life. Before accepting sannyas, you should have particularly considered that everyone respects a sannyasi as a member of the topmost ashram. Since you have accepted Vaishnava principles, which entail becoming humbler than a blade of grass, what need was there to become a candidate for receiving the highest respect found in social etiquette? Giving up Shiksha and the Brahman thread is an example of pride. It is simply the desire to ascend to the highest level of fame. A person following Vaishnava principles should offer obeisances to a dog eater, a cow, an ass, and he should not accept respect from anyone. Mayavadi sannyasis in particular consider themselves equal to the Supreme Lord, who is the creator, maintainer, and annihilator. Therefore, they are unworthy sons and foolish. Now, this is a wonderful point now. But at the same time, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is in delusion. He says, why did you take sannyas at this age? In this age, you are supposed to serve everyone. You are supposed to serve even a dog eater. You are supposed to offer obeisances to a dog also, cow also. But when you take sannyas, that means you are in the highest order. That means you want name and fame. You want everybody that they should respect you. What was the necessity of taking sannyas at a very young age, 24 years? In fact, Madhavendra Puri, he took sannyas when he was in a very old age. भुज देखी विचारिया की आछे संन्यासे प्रथमई बुध बध हय अहंकार पाशे. Just consider what is the use of accepting sannyas. One immediately becomes bound by the ropes of false ego. That is true. Sannyas, when you get sannyas, you get name and name and fame is actually a big curse. It is a big curse because it may lead to false ego. Even Lord Shiva says, oh Lord, I attained this false ego just because you gave me so many positions. Now you smash my false ego, this pride, you smash it. Because we saw in the previous chapter in Kashi, Lord Shiva dared to fight with Sudarshan. Sudarshan is the Ayudha of Krishna. And then when Lord smashes the pride, at that time he says, who is the cause of this pride? You are the cause of this pride. You have given him the position. So this name and fame is actually a curse actually. Dandadhari Mahagyana Haya Apanara Kaho Reo Bolet Yoda Hasta Nahi Karu. One who carries a danda considers himself a great person, does not fold his hands before anyone. How will he fold hands before everyone? In one hand, danda is there. I was speaking to Kamal Prabhuji or now Bhakti Padma Maharaj. Because day before yesterday when he came from flight, 12 o'clock he landed in Mumbai airport. But 1.5 hours it took for the danda to come out. There was so much of what you call scanning and all was going on. He said this danda is also for me, a big jamela now because in Thailand airport there was no check. But here there was a lot of checking was going on. This danda is also now. Well, when you have a danda in the hand, how will you do namaskar to others? ಯಾರ ಪದ ಧೂಲಿ ಲೈತೆ ವೇದೇರ ವಿಹಿತ ಹೇನ ಜನೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರೆ tabu nahi bhita. A sannyasi is not afraid to accept obeisances from such a personality that the Vedas declare the dust of his feet should be respected. So sannyasi is not afraid to accept obeisances. It is said some great personality will come and pay obeisances, and the sannyasi is not afraid to take that also. In fact, such great personalities, dust has to be respected. But because that ashrama, in the ashrama, it is a topmost, he cannot even pay respect. So this is according to karma sannyasi. But on the contrary, a Vaishnava sannyasi, even though if he has danda in the hand, he pays respect to every devotee. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is a wonderful example. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, even though such a great sannyasi, he used to pay obeisances to every devotee who used to pay obeisances to him. After the class, he used to pay obeisances to every devotee. This is the difference between a Vaishnava sannyasi and a karma sannyasi. According to the karma sannyasi, he is the topmost. So he will not pay respect. He will not pay obeisances. He will accept obeisances even from those people who are highly respectable, whose lotus dust should be taken. But a Vaishnava sannyasi, on the contrary, will pay obeisances. Ahankara dharma yei kabhu bhal nahi bhujai yei bhagavate bhagavate yena mate mata kahe. False ego is never good. Try to understand the words of Bhagavatam in this regard. In the Bhagavatam 11th canto, 29th chapter, 16th and 3.29.34, it is stated, Pranamed danda yad bhuma aswa chandala gukharam pravishto jiva khalaya tatreva bhagavaniti. Realizing that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has entered the body of every living entity as a super soul, one should offer obeisances. Before all, even the dogs, outcasts, cows, and asses, falling flat upon the ground like a rod. So this is what is given. One has to pay obeisances to everyone. Now we'll see yesterday some few verses and tomorrow we'll see 10.60.44. 10.60.44. Okay. Those few verses are given that we should actually do the service of the verses also. Yeah. तस्यास्युरच्युतनृपा भवतोपदिष्टः श्रीणं गृहेषु खरगोस्व विदालभृत्यः यत्कर्णमूलं मन् कर्षणनोपयायात् युष्मत्कथा मृदविजिविरिञ्च सुभाषु गीतम्. O infallible Krishna, let each of the kings who you named become the husband of a woman whose ears have never heard your glories, which are sung in the assemblies of Shiva and Brahma. After all, in the households of such women, these kings live like asses, oxen, dogs, cats, and slaves. So, according to Srila Swami, these fiery words of Queen Rukmini is a response to Lord Krishna's offering statement. Oh, my dear princess, You were sought by many kings, as powerful as the rulers. So then, why are they selecting me? So Queen Kunti here speaks in anger. She compares the so-called princess to the asses. And she says, these kings may appear very desirable to a foolish woman who has never heard the glories of Krishna. So in this way, Lord is the Pati for everyone. Pati means the protector of everyone. Only those who have no interest in hearing about Lord, they think that others are very wonderful. Now 3.13.50 speaks. 3.13.50 speaks. Let me open the verse. 13.50. Okay. को नाम लोके पुरुषार्थ सारवेत् पुरा कथानां भगवत्कथा सुधाम् आपीय कर्णाञ्जलिभिर्भवापहाम् अहो विरचेत विना नरेतरम्. Who other than one who is not a human being? Who other than one who is not a human being can exist in this world and not be interested in the ultimate goal of life? That means who is not interested in hearing Krishna Katha is actually not a human being. Simple. Tomorrow one can put this, so that those who are not joining this Bhagavad Katha, in spite of having some time, somebody is very much busy going to the office and all these things, we can understand. In spite of sitting at home and not joining Krishna Katha, actually they are no better than an animal. Who can refuse the nectar of narrations about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which by itself can deliver one from all material pangs? Sometimes a person is so interested in the material life, they do all the other work except for hearing Krishna Katha. So in the synopsis, maybe somebody can put this. This is very important verse, and that last one also will take it. What is it? Verse 10.1.4. Nivrittata Sher Variyamana Bhavaushada Shotra Manobhirama Uttama Shloka Gulanvada Kuman Viracheta Vinapashutna. I did not open the verse because this is the most dearest verse. And this one has to memorize actually. Nivritta Tarashe Vipagiyamana. Not interested in hearing Krishna Katha, but one should be interested. Why? It will give release from all material activities. Bhava Ushada Shotra Manobhirama. It is an Aushadhi for a material person. And for Shotra Manobhirari, it is like a juice for one who is realized. Two type of people hear Krishna Katha. One who is completely in material life. So somehow by mercy of Lord, he gets the fortune to hear Krishna Katha. Then it becomes an Aushadhi. Though it is very bitter, he may not like it, he should drink it. And one who is complete realized soul is a great devotee. For him, it is like a juice. He just wants to hear again and again. Kauttama shloka gunanuvadad. So beautiful verses speak about Krishna. Only those vina puman virajeta vina pashubna. Only a person who is a butcher. Butcher means killer of his own self. They will cease to hear about Krishna Katha. So I think the synopsis should be put so that one arouses the interest in everyone because they are in the group. Naturally, they should hear Krishna Katha. Being in the group, that is why it is a family. It is a family where we are concerned. If it is out of this group, who is going to go behind? But this group is made TNA group, NLD sincere group, NLD online group, so that everybody hears. So somebody can arouse this, somebody can point out this because it's morning class, only 20 people join. In fact, there are 600 people. What are they doing? So somebody can put this, like Gayatri can put, Aruna can put. Because if you are in the group, take advantage. Simple, just take advantage. If you have time, no problem. If you don't have time, anyhow, you can hear to the YouTube recordings, which is happening every day. Every day the YouTube happening, just hear and you can write, I'm hearing to the YouTube recording. So they can acknowledge also, yes, we are hearing. If you don't have time in the morning, they can hear in the afternoon when they are taking prasadam. Somebody has to take interest and somehow drag more people in Krishna consciousness. Jumur has started. Now everybody should is right and drag people. That is how the mood should be of Gaudiyas. Gaudiya Dhara is just read, but run behind the people. You can even call also. Call and tell. If you are in this group, you should join. If you are in the group, you should join. Yes, because we are concerned. We want them to join. We want them to hear why Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has taken so much of pains to write, and that too quotations from different scriptures. Okay. Hare Krishna. Manchapikatarudesh Kripa Sindhu Devcha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Vaishnavindi Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I'm going to the farms. I'll pray for all of you. To Mother Cow. Hare Krishna.